Imagine a world, untouched and wild, where the horizon stretches endlessly and the air is thick with the calls of ancient creatures. Here, immense, slow-moving giants once roamed the vast plains of South America, grazing and wandering beneath the open sky. In the late Pleistocene, just over 11,000 years ago, humans shared this land with these extraordinary megafauna, towering ground sloths, armored glyptodonts, and elephant-sized relatives of today's armadillos. For decades, scientists debated a fundamental question. Were these early people timid scavengers, eking out a living on leftovers, or were they bold, skilled hunters who shaped the fate of these giants? New research now reveals a dramatic truth. Early South Americans were not passive observers, but top predators, systematically tracking and hunting the continent's largest animals with remarkable skill and cooperation. This wasn't occasional scavenging or opportunistic feeding. It was a way of life, deeply woven into their culture and survival for thousands of years, shaping their communities and traditions. Archaeological sites across Argentina, Chile, and Uruguay provide clear, compelling evidence. Animal bones marked by butchery and expertly crafted stone tools tell a vivid story of epic hunts and massive communal feasts. The diet of these early humans was dominated by the rich meat of now-extinct megafauna, fueling their bodies and their societies, and leaving traces that endure to this day. This forces us to reconsider our ancestors' ecological role, not as mere survivors, but as powerful agents of change, whose actions had a profound impact on the world long before the rise of cities or the dawn of agriculture. The disappearance of the megafauna was a turning point in Earth's history, and mounting evidence suggests that humans played a leading, perhaps decisive role in this dramatic extinction. Understanding this ancient story offers a sobering perspective on humanity's long, complex relationship with the natural world. A relationship marked by ingenuity, adaptation, and sometimes irreversible change. Megafauna, animals over 100 pounds, ruled South America's late Pleistocene. The stars were giant ground sloths like Megatherium, towering as tall as elephants. Alongside them, glyptodonts, giant armadillos with armored shells, and the hippo-like Toxodon. Prehistoric horses and other large mammals roamed in herds, creating a rich ecosystem for skilled hunters. Archaeological sites like Monteverde, Campo Laborde, and Cueva Fell reveal piles of butchered bones and stone tools. At many sites, megafauna remains make up over 80% of animal bones found. This wasn't a fluke. It was a widespread pattern across the Pampas and Patagonian steppe. For generations, early humans built their existence around hunting the largest animals available. This strategy would have profound consequences for both people and the environment. Archaeologists act as detectives, piecing together ancient events from subtle clues left behind in the earth. Each artifact, bone, and tool is a piece of a much larger puzzle, helping us reconstruct the lives of people who lived thousands of years ago. The clearest evidence of prehistoric hunting comes from animal bones marked with distinctive V-shaped grooves. These are the unmistakable signatures of stone tool butchery, left by skilled hands as they process their catch. At sites like Campo Laborde, the discovery of giant sloth bones with concentrated cut marks around the joints tells a vivid story. These marks appear exactly where ancient hunters would have carefully dismembered limbs to access the most nutritious parts. Many of these bones were deliberately broken open to extract the rich, fatty marrow inside, a classic sign of human hunting and resourcefulness. This practice shows a deep understanding of how to maximize nutrition from every hunt. These remains are often found alongside stone tools, spear points, scrapers, and knives, creating an undeniable link between people and their prey. The tools themselves reveal the ingenuity and adaptability of these early hunters. The pattern is clear. Humans had first access to the carcasses, not scavenging leftovers. The lack of carnivore damage on many bones suggests that people were the primary agents in these ancient feasts. The combination of cut marks, evidence of marrow extraction, and the close association with tools builds an airtight case for active, organized hunting by early humans. Scavenging would leave a very different pattern. often with jagged carnivore tooth impressions and gnaw marks, rather than the precise cuts made by stone blades. Here, the evidence consistently points to humans as the primary hunters, shaping the ecosystem and leaving a lasting mark on the prehistoric landscape. These ancient people were not passive observers of nature. They were the apex predators of their world, mastering their environment and thriving through skill, cooperation, and innovation. Bringing down a creature the size of an elephant required not just brute force but a remarkable blend of skill, cooperation, and strategic thinking. These hunts were among the most dangerous and complex tasks early humans ever faced. Early hunters likely targeted the most vulnerable individuals in a herd, those that were young, old, injured, or isolated from the group. This selective approach increased their chances of success and minimized risk to the hunters themselves. Their main weapon was the long spear, tipped with expertly crafted stone points, such as the distinctive fishtail type. These points were specifically designed to pierce the thick hides of massive animals, showing a deep understanding of both materials and prey. A single wound rarely killed instantly. Instead, hunters would track the injured animal for hours, sometimes even days, patiently waiting for exhaustion and blood loss to weaken it enough for a safe approach. They cleverly used the landscape, swamps, ravines, and lakes, to trap or corner their prey, making escape nearly impossible. At sites like Tagua Tagua in Chile, evidence shows how hunters exploited these natural features to their advantage. After the kill, butchering and transporting tons of meat was a massive undertaking. It demanded not only strength, but also careful teamwork and organization to ensure nothing was wasted. On-site butchering evidence reveals highly coordinated roles. Some guarded the site, others cut meat, while others broke bones for nutrient-rich marrow. Each person had a vital task. These hunts were more than just a means of survival. They became communal events, moments of celebration that reinforced social bonds and shared identity within the group. Success depended on clear communication, careful planning, and a deep inherited knowledge of the land and animal behavior. Every hunt was a test of both mind and body. Ultimately, the hunt shaped not just their diet, but their entire way of life, defining their culture, their social structure, and their relationship with the world around them. New research quantifies just how central megafauna were to early human diets. Prey ranking models show that giant animals offered the highest caloric return for the effort. A single giant sloth could feed a group for weeks, making them the logical target. The archaeological record matches this. Megafauna bones dominate, while smaller animals are rare. This wasn't accidental, it was a deliberate, efficient strategy. For at least 1,400 years, giant animals were the staple food, not a supplement. Early South Americans were expert foragers, maximizing their energy intake. Their focus on megafauna made them a new, highly effective apex predator. By removing these giants, humans reshaped the ecosystem, setting off changes that would last millennia. They weren't just living in the Pleistocene, they were transforming it, one hunt at a time. For decades, scientists debated whether climate change or human hunting caused the megafauna extinction. The climate theory blamed rapid warming and habitat loss, casting humans as bystanders. The overkill hypothesis argued that skilled hunters drove the giants to extinction through relentless predation. Until recently, evidence for overkill in South America was limited. Now, new findings from 20 archaeological sites show a clear, intense predatory relationship between humans and megafauna. Hunting was systematic and widespread, not occasional. The evidence now strongly suggests human hunting was the decisive blow that ended the age of giants. The idea that climate change alone doomed the megafauna is losing ground. If climate were solely to blame, we'd see animals declining before humans became efficient hunters. Instead, evidence shows humans thrived by hunting these giants right up to their extinction. The abrupt shift in diet around 11,600 years ago matches the disappearance of megafauna. Prey ranking models confirm. As long as megafauna were available, they remained the top target. If climate had made them scarce, hunters would have switched to smaller prey sooner. The most likely scenario: environmental stress from climate change, combined with relentless human predation, sealed the fate of these species. Humans were the tipping point, pushing already stressed populations over the edge. The extinction was not inevitable, it was accelerated by our ancestors' success as hunters. The extinction of megafauna forced a dramatic shift in human diets. After 11,600 years ago, giant animal bones vanished from archaeological sites. In their place, remains of smaller animals like guanacos, deer, and rodents. Humans broadened their diet out of necessity, not choice. The earlier focus on megafauna wasn't due to a lack of smaller prey, it was because the giants were the best resource. The switch to smaller animals was a downgrade, requiring new hunting techniques and tools. This change altered social organization and movement patterns, as groups competed for new resources. The extinction of the giants set the stage for the next 10,000 years of South American culture. The legacy of the megafauna lived on, shaping the societies that followed. The story of early humans and South American megafauna is a powerful lesson in our species' impact. These ancient hunters, with simple tools, helped drive dozens of species to extinction. Our environmental footprint is not new, it's woven into our history. The overkill hypothesis shows how short-term gains can trigger long-term ecological collapse. Today's environmental crises echo these ancient patterns, only on a global scale. The bones of giant sloths are more than relics, they're a warning. Even with basic technology, humans have the power to reshape the world. As we face modern challenges, the story of the first South Americans reminds us, our choices shape the planet's future.